All right, what's up, you guys? So you just finished paragraph 2, which is awesome. So now let's finish this thing. We got one more paragraph to do. And like I said, hopefully you're starting to understand that this is not that hard. Just you got to remember to do this on your essay because I know it's tempting to just start talking on it, right? Just to throw everything down. But really, if you do this, it will really help your scores. All right, so now we're turning to that last note-taking page, all right? So it says conclusion on it. Preach your way conclusion. Give you a second to turn there. All right, so let's take some notes. So a conclusion finishes the story, and I did it again. I keep doing it. It's all right. Here we go. A conclusion finishes the story and tells the reader the lesson that you have learned. So your conclusion, you go back to your story that you started in your first paragraph. You're going to finish it. You're going to tell me what's going to happen. At the very end, you connect it back to your controlling idea or connect it back to answering the prompt. All right, so when you start your third paragraph, just like always, you should indent. That's right. Good job, guys. You indent. All right, the last sentence of the essay should call the reader to action, which means make the reader want to know more. All right, but actually, really, it's not necessarily making the reader want to know more. It's connecting back to your answer. I'm gonna actually write that instead. So if you wrote this down, kudos to you, but let's switch this up. Connects back to your answer of the prompt. All right. So write that down if you didn't write the other one down, because this one's better. All right. So just a few more clarifying things. Guys, you're always trying to make your paper detailed, right? So tell me how you feel. Tell me what was going on. Try to use similes and metaphors. Hopefully the teacher in the classroom can help you with that. Always try to use, I'm going to say, larger words, right? Don't say said, say yelled or whispered or shouted, right? Don't say bad or good, say terrible, awful. Just use words that are bigger than third grade words, right? Try to use words that show detail and give better meaning. So it makes you sound intelligent. And the last note right here, reread your last paragraph to make sure it either makes sense would work too, but it's not. It connects to the other paragraphs, right? Because guys, that's the biggest thing about, like I said before, if we just ramble, if we just start writing stuff down instead of doing these 3 paragraphs, we're not connecting it all together and it doesn't make as much sense. All right, so now that you know that, let's take a look at my final paragraph. Remember, it was a long time ago. I thought about it. I was like, man, I'm going to ask this girl out. But then I was like, I can't do it today. You know what? I'll do it tomorrow. So we don't know which one you're going to do. Is he going to be able to ask this girl out or not? So we're finishing this story right here. So I start off by indenting, right? Move it over a little bit. The next morning, right before lunch, I finally decided to make my move. She was walking to her car for lunch and no one else was around. It was now or never. Hey, April, wait up, I said as I jogged up next to her. I took a deep breath and just asked her. When I was finally done, she looked at me sweetly and said that she had gotten back together with her boyfriend the night before. But if I'd have asked her sooner, she would have definitely said yes. I was filled with mixed emotions. Even though she technically said no, she gave me hope the next time I asked a girl out. After this conversation, April started talking to me during class and introduced me to her friend, who didn't say no to me when I asked her. I learned that even though it's hard to face your challenge, the reward is worth the risk. All right, so I'm just gonna highlight a few things I'm gonna show you. So I know I said right here, and I probably should use a bigger word, but I jogged up next to her, right? I didn't walk up next to her, I jogged. I took a deep breath and just asked her. She looked at me sweetly, right? Got back for it. Asked me sooner, I definitely said yes. I was filled with mixed emotions. I told you how I felt, guys. And then at the end here, this is the biggest key right here. I learned that even though it is hard to face your challenge, the reward is worth the risk. So all you're doing right here, guys, you're finishing the story, you're giving me details about it, and at the end, tell me how your story helped you learn that You always should face your challenge. All right, so this is our final paragraph. We're getting done with the rough draft. I'll come back to you one more time to do the final essay, and we'll call it a day. Good working, guys. Remember, if you knock it out this time, you never have to take the English 1 test again. All right? So work hard and get this done. Have a good third paragraph.